You know, it's going to be one of those kind of days when not even my magic elixir can save me.
Ain't nothing saving the day, man. But you know what? It's Monday. So all I gotta say,
Mhm.
all I gotta say about all that, let's go.
And off we go.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Wrong
Well,
button.
that's an interesting way to start. Let's try that again, ladies and gentlemen. Take
Try
two.
again.
Let's
And our
go.
guest is cracking up. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah!
Man, it would not be a Monday morning without scuff. Just remember something, people. We aren't professionals. We just act like it.
We just act like it.
Hit it, Snowman!
Good morning. Welcome to the manic, headachy Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Android, my on-screen son, decided to flip my show upside down because of a guest we're going to go to right now in Columbia, Missouri. Hey, hurrah, hurrah, hooray, hurrah, Mizzou, and a bully for old Mizzou. Please help us welcome Lennon Barnes, a photographer from the University of Missouri. Good morning, my friend.
You're muted, brother.
You're muted, dude. You pressed the wrong button.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to Monday Morning with Scuff.
Oh, trust me, the last time I talked to Lennon, this is the same problem we had.
He's working on it, folks. He's working on it. We'll get back to you, dude. Message us when you got your sound up.
We'll pot him down for right now. Victor's having a bit of a stomach issue. We don't know if he'll make it or not. Victor, if you can't make it, don't worry about it. You just
I
get
would too
well.
after that Cowboys game.
Yeah, I was about to say that Cowboys-Niners game. Yeah.
Yours was worse.
No,
Listen,
Sherlock.
listen.
And I'm still
I'm
pissed the
like
refs missed that targeting call.
I'm like this. At least there's one victory Monday in my household. There should have been two. Doggone it.
Yeah, I don't know how Indy blew that game.
I'll tell you how they blew that game. Anthony Richardson.
Mm,
I'll tell you exactly how they blew that game.
AR5 was not sharp.
AR5 was horrible. And we'll start there this morning. As y'all know, my wife is in St. Louis. She'll be there till Wednesday. And we got all kinds of people in the chat. Arku is with us. Sig Diggy is with us. Play by play with JJ is
Morning, boys.
with us. JJ says, for once, Jalen Hurts was a dog yesterday. No, he wasn't. Saquon Barkley was. I still don't trust Jalen Hurts. More on that later. Indy. And I gotta start there.
He had no pocket yesterday.
He had no pocket, and we can add a word. We had no pocket presence.
I mean, 10 of 32 for $175, and 109 of those went to Josh Downs on 4 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only reason really you guys were able to do much else anything was Jonathan Taylor going off.
Yep. Which is what I begged anyone who watched the live stream yesterday. I begged the Colts all game long to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. I think we're ready. Let's try this a second time, but this is how live radio / simulcast goes.
Typical
Jordan,
stuff.
I'm gonna hand this one off to you. Please help us welcome one more time Mr. Lennon Barnes from Columbia, Missouri. Lennon, how are you? And
Nope.
it's still muted.
Nope.
Brother?
Hold on.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Again, we're not professionals. We just
act
like
it.
T-shirt
The
coming
life
soon.
of a
Keep an eye out for the shop.
Listen, I can sympathize with Lennon. The life of a student in Missouri. I did it in 1990 at Northeast Missouri State, so I get it. There's a lot more technology around now than it was back then. How are you, Lennon? Good to see you this morning.
How you guys doing?
What's up, man?
So,
tired.
Droid decided to flip my show upside down, and he said, "I have a guest for you." Like, what? And he said, "He's a photographer at the University of Missouri." Okay, bring him on.
Actually, no.
My wife
You know what
warned
he
me
actually? No, I'll tell you what
about
he actually.
flipping my
He
show
said,
upside down.
"Shut up." He said, "Shut up. You don't got that." I'm like, "Oh, trust me, I do. I really do."
Oh,
Lennon. I've known him for a while now. Me and him are both big fans of the Kansas City Pioneers. So,
hey, fellow gamer in the house, lock and load.
I figured, you know what? Why not hit him up, see if he's down? And sure enough, he was down. But one of the big things we brought you on what it's like on the field, even in Columbia as a student.
The environment is it's crazy. Like hearing 70,000 fans screaming, especially like, okay, so I don't know how much you guys keep up with Mizzou or anything, but this past, not Alabama, but the week before, whenever Brady Cook went hurt, the state was silent. When he came back, I never heard the stadium like that. I never heard it like that in my life.
The lid was blown off.
That was one of the craziest experiences.
The only other experience, and I got a chance to see it in person, was 1997 against Nebraska. The miracle pass from Nebraska, which led to overtime. You being on the field at the University of Missouri, being able to capture moments like the one you just described and many others, what is that? What is that like to get that experience?
So, like being a freshman too, like most people, if you go to journalism at Zoo, it's hands-on learning. So everyone gets to do it at their junior year at least once. But I'm a freshman. I started doing this my senior year of high school, and like just getting to be with the athletes and capture some of these moments. I've made friends through it. Like I know most of the football team now. I can text them. I know every member of the wrestling team. Like just being with them, making new friends, and capturing these moments that they'll remember for a lifetime is awesome.
How much? How'd you get it? How'd you get into it? What led you to get into journalism?
So, like, I'd always wanted to work in sports. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And then my junior-ish year of high school, I would say the end of my sophomore year, I picked up a camera and kind of messed around. And then my junior year, I took a yearbook class. Senior year, I started working for the paper, and now here I am as a journalism student at Mizzou. So,
Victor knows a little something about that because when he came to Chicago State in 2001 and I met him, he was in a totally different major.
Yep.
And
engineering to be exact.
he was in engineering. And then my stupid brain decided to go haywire, and I said, I have something for you to engineer. And Victor gave me the look of death, and he says, what are you up to? And Victor's been my engineer on air for about 17 years now. But it's a lot of, when you cover sports on a campus, a big time campus, it's a lot of fun to do. But Lennon, you can attest to, Victor, you as well, and all the guys here, it's a lot of work as well.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah. There was a night where I shot wrestling practice at 3, hockey at 6, turned around and shot football at 11 a.m. the next morning. Had all the pictures edited and posted by Saturday evening. So, like, I try to stay busy. So,
see, he's good with pictures like I am with audio and video. Because I'll record something, and then within an hour, I'll have it all cut up. It's like, and my wife even asked me this, how do you do that? I looked at her and I said, do what? And she looked at all of the
clips,
recordings on my screen, and she says, that. she pointed to my monitor and she said, that.
Well, I think everyone who does some form of editing, they have a certain part of their brain where it's like everything they see it differently. Like if you see someone who does like video editing, if you see a music video, you're like, oh, this is a regular music video. But the person who edits that music video, they can see what scenes go where, what parts of the visual part of it, what parts should go where. And I've seen you do this with a lot of your audio edits. Like you know exactly where the splice needs to be for a particular song or exit or intro. You know exactly what it is just by hearing it once or twice.
Lennon, who inspires you to get into journalism? Is there like are there like a couple of people that inspires you to go that way when you got to Mizzou?
I don't think it was when I got to Mizzou. I want to say it was in high school. So my yearbook teacher worked for our local paper for a long time. And I was talking to him about how, this is before he did yearbook, he was just an English teacher this time. But I was talking to him about how I always wanted to work around sports, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. Because I thought about sports medicine, but that's just so much college, and I don't know if I can deal with that. And he's like, pick up a camera, you'll be close. He's like, pick up a camera, you'll be close to the action. And yeah, that's how it happened.
Fair enough, because I was in computer science.
That's what my roommates did.
Years. So. My original major was computer science, and then in 1992 I made a change. Upstairs to Droid. He has a question.
So I believe it was week 2 against Vanderbilt. Being on the field for an overtime thriller like that, and the emotion, as I know you said, the atmosphere in Columbia is insane.
Absolutely.
But what is it like for overtime games, especially ones like that against a team like Vanderbilt?
So, funny story about that. I was right on about the 3-yard line for that. I got one of the greatest pictures I've ever taken during that. But my heart rate was so high. I was shaking. I was talking to like Vanderbilt's team photographer, and like the cheerleaders were like asking questions because they didn't understand all the rules. And like whenever they threw a flag on that last offensive pass interference, they're like, they're gonna score it there. I'm like, no, that's on them. Is what I told them. And they're like, okay. And like my heart rate was like probably 180 that time. It was one of the craziest experiences ever. I was shaking on the sideline shooting.
I get it.
I remember you texted the fantasy group chat saying, "I got this photo. I could barely keep my hands stable for the
It
entire
was
thing."
rough, yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
But also, I noticed that you're really trying to, be photographers for, even big esports teams like Kansas City Pioneers.
Yeah, I actually am doing some work with the Pioneers right now. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I actually noticed that. Was it Matt that convinced you, or was it
it
somebody
was
else?
actually Sam. Sam
Oh,
Kuku.
Cooley.
Yeah.
Covering doing photography for esports. What is that like? That's a new experience that I'm getting into. But I want to learn more about it.
So I know, like the biggest thing with photos with that are whenever they're really, really focused are the emotions because they do show a lot of emotion after big wins or big losses, high fiving
Yeah,
your
we do.
teammates, celebrating. Like that's what I like to capture with that is emotions,
Nice.
or the not so much of the actual players, but like the fans, the environment, stuff like that too. So
So if I were to give you like, let's go back to Worlds when we played Gen G in the elimination rounds, and we pulled off one of the biggest upsets, Oceania beating the NA for the first time in a long time, right after Power beat Gen G. What is like a specific moment you would have probably captured there?
definitely the Pioneers' reaction, like the players' reactions, as soon as that match ended, whenever they all jumped up and hugged, that was probably a moment I would have captured. Or been
Speaking of capturing a moment, here's Pumpkin, who randomly, whenever he's in the house, decides to hop in the chair with me. What was the most, besides the overtime game with Mizzou and Vanderbilt, what was the most insane moment you ever caught on camera?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I would say probably like it wouldn't necessarily be insane, but like just some of the upsets at the college wrestling national championship this past year. Like that was a crazy thing for me. Because I mean, I watched. So I'm from Mizzou, a big Mizzou guy, but this Keegan O'Toole was #1 ranked, 2-time national champion. Lost to his rival, who they were like 5-5 against each other. Lost to him in the semifinals. So that was a hard match, but it was a good one to capture. So
I had two dreams come true when it comes to the Mizzou campus. I had a chance to see the Hearns Center when they hosted Kansas in the old Big 8 conference. And then I got to see it as a broadcaster for women's basketball when Mizzou hosted Chicago State a few years back. And walking into Mizzou Arena and just taking a look around and seeing the ribbon boards and the court, you'd get the new school feel, but you get a lot of the old school feel with it also. Do you not?
absolutely, like especially this is a little off of that, but like the buildings on campus, they're designed old on the outside and new on the inside. So you feel like you're in an old school, which I mean you really are at Mizzou, but everything's pretty modern anymore.
I got to tell y'all a funny story about our trip to Missouri when I was covering Chicago State women's basketball. I drove in from Gary, Indiana that morning. I had my suitcase, had my equipment and everything, and the coaches were ready. And then a snowstorm happened. I saw nothing the final 5 miles. I'm going into Chicago. And Victor, you've driven up 94 with me. When a snowstorm happens, especially the lake effect snow,
Yeah.
it's not fun to drive in or drive through.
No. Especially you have to remember, what was it, like 2011, when pretty much the entire Lakeshore area was like a car graveyard because of the lake effect snow.
And I nearly
was
in that I was nearly in that graveyard, but there was a snowstorm coming in. We all went into the arena. We got packed up. We got ready. The buses came around. we're loading stuff in the snow. By the time we got to Columbia, some hours later, it was 61 degrees. And this is in January.
That sounds like Missouri to me,
Oh,
honestly.
absolutely.
It is, man.
That's like
when
if
I-
Missouri. That's like if you take Missouri and Kansas and combine them. That's basically what it is.
that's it.
As a native Kansan myself, I've grown up in Kansas all my life. I graduated from Shawnee Heights. But my question for you, Lennon, I never knew what it was like, of course, to be with a team. Maybe even taking pictures. What's it like with a bye week? Because I know Mizzou has a bye week this upcoming week. What is it like for a photography team on the bye week? Do you just take pictures at practice, or is it just an off week for you for that specific sport?
Last time we had a bye week a few weeks ago, I went home for the weekend, and this is my birthday weekend, so I'm going to go home for this weekend. If they have another sport, I'll go cover that, but for the most part, bye weeks are just kind of a week off. So,
Yeah, I've had bye weeks where, especially with me, when I covered Trinity International up in Deerfield, Illinois, I didn't know what a bye week was because we usually play all the way through, and we were just done a week before the main colleges were done. But having that off week, I want to say it was 2012, having that off week, we're just sitting there going, now what? We had to I basically Victor just came to my place and hung out all week. And that was the longest sleep I ever got. Because Victor is, like I said, Victor's one of the people that has helped me keep everything together. And Victor gave me a command and a demand that week. And he said, no talking. Yeah. Then my girlfriend called. And all that went out the window. And Victor came in and heard me and yelled at me.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But you have, of course, Mizzou has Oklahoma coming up. We all know this. I believe that's in Missouri. I think that's in Columbia.
Let me look for
I
you.
know I'm going to be very excited to see those photos from you. I tried to find the Vanderbilt photo, the catch that you took. I could not send it to Snowman because I couldn't find it. And I was actually hoping you still had it on you.
Oh, I do. I should, yeah.
I want to see it. Now I want to see it.
It's an insane moment. Like Lennon's always been great at photography. He posts his photos after every college game day and in our fantasy chat, despite him being terrible at fantasy.
Hey, I think my record's even after I win this week. I think I'm 50. I think I'm 0.5 on the season.
And he has one of the funniest team names I think in the league right now. It's CTE. I think it's like CTE ESPN.
It's Antonio Brown, yeah.
And I'm like,
trust me, there's a few times.
Is this
trust me, there's
Tua Tagovailoa or?
It's Antonio Brown.
You know what? That works too.
I'm out. I'm done with that
one. Antonio Clown. Oh, he sent it to me. Yeah, it's the pass deflection on the final play.
Pass interference. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be 4-4 after this week also.
What can you do?
Lennon
Barnes, go ahead.
To finish this off, the editing process. I know as a person who took photography back in high school for two straight years, I know the editing process can be a lot. But with such a high standard that a school, not only in the SEC, but a school just as high prestige as Mizzou, how long does it take for you to even edit one photo?
So I go through and I highly in-depth edit one photo, which takes 10, 15 minutes. And then I copy my preset that I just edited and put it on all of them. And I go through and fine touch the other ones and crop them down and stuff.
I
preset my first image, so.
I had a chance to work with a few photographers from the Chicago Bulls during their dynasty run, especially when they first opened the United Center. the flashes that you see going off when you look at a game, they're crazy. And I was in the United Center in 96 when the Bulls won it, beating Seattle. And all the flash bulbs that went off after MJ fell to the floor crying is something else. Last question. How long do you spend on pre-setup? Does it depend on the event that you're covering?
So yeah, if it's like basketball, I get there an hour early. Wrestling, 30 minutes early. Football, I normally get there 2.5 hours before the game starts.
Yeah,
you don't want to be in the crowd.
Yeah, sounds about.
I get there plenty early.
Yep,
but I mean,
sounds about right because these guys know my rule. 2 to 2.5 hours. I'm in studio prepping for a game call, and Victor has been with me as my engineer. And got to leave you with this one. There was one afternoon I overslept, and boy, Victor let me have it. Victor called me. I set my alarm, and I said, okay, I can steal another hour. I forgot to turn my phone on.
Ooh.
And paid for it. Because I look to my right and my phone is just going off the hook. And I picked up the phone and my voice sounded so raspy. And I said, hello. And Victor goes, where the bleep are you? What? Why aren't you in Chicago right now at UIC Pavilion? And I'm like, again, what? And then it dawned on me. There was a triple header that day. And the next sentence out of my mouth was, Victor, I'll be there in 45 minutes. Yeah, because you're already running late. We're supposed to be set up by now, man.
Yeah, because I have nothing to work with.
Right, because I had the equipment.
Yeah, and when you get there and someone is not there, you are lost. You're like,
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What do I do?
Yep. Oh, gosh. Joey, close this segment out, if you would, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Lennon Barnes. You can find him on Twitter at L3NNON _ I think it's 2 underscores.
It is 2 underscores, yeah.
And then you can find him on Instagram at lennon.ray.photography. Appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, it's always a pleasure to have guests on, but especially you, man, especially with our history together, especially in the trade books. I appreciate you coming on.
We thank you, Lennon. Thank you, brother, so much. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Good luck in classes today.
I love you, Droid, for that. All of our guests appear via the Invader Coffee guest line presented by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. And the first hour of today's show is brought to you by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Coming up next.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Well,
as if Victor wasn't sick enough.
Well, I guess I'm reporting to the floor.
As if Victor wasn't sick enough. He's about to get kicked in the ribs.
Yep.
Oh,
we're back in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Whether it's news, The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Whether it's the men's college game,
the way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
The women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
The WNBA,
AJ Williams stood 1-2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmaker's blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
What the hell?
What?
Droid, what are you up to?
What the hell is that behind you, dude?
It says after further review, the Cowboys
Okay.
still suck.
Oh boy.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Okay. I have a question.
How my morning's gonna go.
Okay. I have a question, but I'm afraid to ask it of Victor. As long as I've known him and he's known me. Victor says I have this propensity of coming up with questions that I have no business asking. I think this is one of them. It's a case of would you rather? Would you rather take the 42-10 loss last year or 30-24 this year?
30-24.
Because
at least it seemed like it was more competitive than because a 42-10 beatdown, especially when it was over by halftime. You and I saw that game.
Yes, we did.
You know that team was defeated. At least in this go round, it said the team was a bit more engaged. They still wanted it.
But I have to ask this question. You being a Cowboys aficionado, why do the Cowboys take so long to turn it on?
That's the $1 million question everyone's asking.
I got a better question. Where the hell was your run game yesterday?
Non-existent.
Where is the run game?
It's called trying to give it to Zeke, even though he's too old for this.
You know what?
The thing is
thank you for saying, Droid. Thank you for saying that, because I can tell you what Zeke is feeling right now. No, change that. I can tell you what Mike Fat McCarthy is feeling right now, and the rest of the Cowboys after what happened last night.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, pretty much.
You still have Pennywise at the helm. You're going to be basically saddled with a loss at that point.
I mean,
but they were in the game. They
still-
led at halftime.
They led at
I
halftime.
still hope.
They led at halftime. They led at
After
halftime.
years of listening to Cowboys fans, not Victor.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
This nation talk about, but even though we haven't won a Super Bowl, we at least make the playoffs every year. Oh, if they don't make the playoffs, I'm laughing in their face the same way Marshawn Lynch laughed in Pete Carroll's face after that interception.
Well, that's the big problem, and this is the problem I've had with the Moronic Republic for quite some time, is that they always take these small victories of, we made it to the playoff. We're going to make it to the playoffs this year. What difference does it make if you get bounced in the first round?
Especially given the way that the Cowboys lost against the Packers in their home stadium.
Yes, you lost
this
against
past
the
January.
Packers. You lost against the Packers in embarrassing fashion. Yeah, you beat Tom Brady and aged Tom Brady and the Bucks the year prior. Great. But then you come with a foolish play and get destroyed by the 49ers.
Again and again and again.
Exactly. I mean, when I saw it was 10-6, I was like, okay, well, they're making a game out of it.
And then San Francisco said, screw you.
Well,
honestly, I thought Jaden Daniels was going to take a bit to, develop before he got this good.
Yeah.
And I thought the Commanders were still going to be a bottom tier.
What the Cowboys would do. No, I take back the thought that I just had.
I don't know if I would settle.
I take back. I don't want to tease. I take back the thought I just had with Jaden Daniels being in a Cowboy uniform. It wouldn't have worked.
No.
Now here's the question.
Flag on the play. Unsportsmanlike.
Hey, ref, do me a favor. Shut up a second. You're not getting paid enough for this.
Wow.
My question I've got after yesterday's game is was this San Francisco's get right game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two reasons. One, we're headed we are on a bye next week. So we're going to get a lot of missing parts back. And two, we were not supposed to win that game at all. Because
with the injuries,
Dallas was kicking our tail.
Yeah, Dallas was doing ball control. I mean, granted, it was only 10-6 at the half, but Dallas was full-blown ball control.
Yeah.
But here's the point where I think the game turned for San Francisco. When they held Dallas out of the end zone and forced them to settle for a field goal. So instead of it being 14-3, it was 10-3.
Well, also,
by that time, Frisco had not even seen the red zone. I mean, their two field goals came from distance.
Yeah.
Also, take consideration that the boogeyman showed up and showed out. And
the animal.
Yes, the boogeyman for the Cowboys
is George Kittle.
Has and probably will always be George the Animal Kittle.
6 receptions, 128 yards, plus a touchdown. And that touchdown in the third quarter turned it on for San Francisco.
Yeah, because after that, it was just unlocked.
It was over after that.
Yeah.
But if you're the Cowboys, does it hurt more having a chance to come all the way back and win that game from 27-10 down, and yet with Pennywise being in control of the offense, and Victor, you've mentioned this so many times over, 4 consecutive pass plays on the right side of the 2-minute warning?
Well, that's the problem, is that once again, the run game is nowhere to be found. And we had thought, stupidly, that with the offensive line help that we got.
Don't make me spit out my coffee in doing that, okay?
Well, we thought that the offensive line help we had gotten in the draft. We had gotten
one of them.
we had gotten some help in the run game. And of course, people again stupidly thought that Zeke was going to do something.
I didn't.
And they thought, okay, we'll be able to make it more even and run the ball more. But
you guys got obliterated in the run game.
Well, of course, Pennywise had to go back to the Dak attack again.
How many times did Dak throw the ball last night?
38 times.
38 times.
25 for 30. 25 for 38. 243. 2 and 2.
How many interceptions?
2.
How many sacks?
Give me a second to find that out because
5. I think 5.
Sacks allowed.
Got sacked 5 times.
No, sacks allowed was only 2.
Oh, they only got 2. Oh, well, they beat the hell out of him though.
Yeah, they got a lot of them hurt.
They beat the daylights out of Dak Prescott.
The moronic Republican Cowboys Nation think you got any help on the O-line in the draft, you are STUPID. Stupid.
If you think I got a better button to push, goes like this: if you are the member of the moronic Republic of Cowboy Nation and you thought you got some offensive line help for the past 2 years, because Victor, when we did our first round coverage of the draft 2 years ago, Victor was begging, you understand me? Begging the Cowboys to get some offensive line help. Well, I have a 3-word response.
Stop the cap.
If you thought it happened then.
Well, also
the only good offensive lineman you pulled in the draft was Cooper Beebe from Kansas State.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, here's the biggest problem I got with this game. Dallas had 5 people rushing the football, including Dak.
Yep.
They only had a combined 56 yards. 5 people rushed the football.
You had no right putting that on the screen.
Here's the thing. Yes, I did. I'm in charge of the buttons, doggone it. At least this morning I am. Listen, here's the thing about that number that you just mentioned. 56 combined rushing yards from the Cowboys as a committee.
Yep.
You know how many rushing yards Brock Purdy had last night?
58.
Yep.
56.
56.
Well, again, look at the
56 rushing yards. Listen, let's take a look at this. And Pizzo, no, I am not in Chicago this week. Matter of fact, my honey's in St. Louis until Wednesday. Take a look at these numbers right here. The 49ers only had one more first down than the Cowboys, 19-18. Niners held the ball 33 minutes, 12 seconds. Cowboys 26-48. So a little bit more even in the time of possession. The Cowboys had 292 offensive yards last night. They allowed 469 to San Francisco.
Again, look at the offensive lines.
And you also want to know the biggest thing? Dallas was 4 for 12 on third down, 1 for 2 on fourth, whereas San Fran was 8 of 16 on third down.
You don't allow a team, if you're supposed to be all of that and then some, like many moronic Republic members proclaim, and Victor said this exact sentence to me, you don't allow a team 16 third down attempts.
No,
you don't.
Let me say that again. 16 third down attempts. And remember, this is a team in San Francisco that is so beat up, they're down to their rookie running back who runs a 4.3 out of Louisville, and Isaac Guerrero. And if I'm reading this correctly, and Dog, I'll have you help me on this, 14 carries, 85 yards, plus a touchdown.
Yep.
Now, if Purdy gets 56, Guerrero gets 85, and your team as a committee only gets 56 yards, which is matched by a quarterback, and Purdy has now run more out of necessity than luxury this year because the Niners are so beat up. What does that say about your team when you, and I said this exact sentence, when you signed a retread running back in Ezekiel Elliott, you let Tony Pollard walk to Tennessee.
Right.
And Tony Pollard was your best option at running back. Now what do you do?
You've got no help because your offensive line is complete, trash.
Well, like I said, the offensive line has nothing. You don't have a coach that has really good running schemes.
No, he really doesn't. I mean, Pennywise has never had good running schemes.
I mean, for God's sakes, does the latter years in Green Bay prove anything? I'm looking at a Redskins highlight. That's why I said Washington.
I mean, let's break this down. Zeke only had 34 yards. They had Alvin Cook that ran the ball 6 times for 12. They had Turpin run the ball once for 11 yards.
Yep.
Lupke didn't even get any yardage, and Dak went back a yard.
What does that tell you about
there's your rushing committee?
Yep. What is that? You just took the thought out of my head. What does that tell you about your rushing attack or lack thereof?
That they have
lack thereof.
That's the key word.
I mean,
lack thereof. I mean, and the thing is that unfortunately, the ones who take the beating the most are the fan base, because it's like I said before, there are two things that every NFL fan wants: is their team to win and the Cowboys to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just a monumental hatred for Cowboys fans. And there always has been. And there probably always will be.
Let's look at it this way. This is how biased the offense is in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He had 13 receptions for $146 and both of Dak's touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Once he got shut down, it was done for Dallas.
It was Dunskies.
Yeah,
as Victor often says. It was Dunskies.
Because we've basically relegated to now it's Dak or nothing. And that's really where the Cowboys are at.
And that's not the Cowboy offense. And that's not the Cowboy offense. And I'll even take this back to the 80s with Danny White and Drew Pearson and Butch Johnson,
right?
And Doug Cosby, Tony Dorsett. That's not the Cowboy offense I remember. And of course, you always had the 90s team, and I'll always pay homage to them.
Yeah,
Big Emmett,
Emmett, Troy Aikman, you got prime time on the defense side. You had a squad back then, and I just don't understand. Well, I kind of do understand it because it's Gerald. This is Gerald having this compulsive need to be right.
And here's the thing that hurts Dallas. Dallas is now 2 games behind the Redskins.
Yep.
2 full games.
And we have yet to face them.
You have yet to face the Redskins, and they're pretty beat up, but they're going to get healthy. And we'll talk about the Redskins in our next segment. You still got to see the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And in a crazy sort of way, you still have to see the Giants.
We still have to see the Giants, who we escaped with a win last time. So Lord knows
sure did, because the Giants had the ball with a chance to win.
Right. So we'll see what happens the next go around. We haven't seen the Eagles yet. We haven't seen the Redskins yet, and the Redskins look like an absolute dynamo.
And you got to see both the Redskins and the Eagles twice.
Yep.
You've got to see both teams twice.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. They got the Eagles at home on the 10th. They're on the road for the Commanders on the 24th. Then they're back home for the Giants to end November.
Mm-hmm.
And then to end the season, they're on the road to Philly and at home for Washington.
Yep.
This division chase for Dallas is over.
So you're talking about basically being swept by every team except the Giants, because we probably will split that.
You'll split with the Giants.
And let's not forget the out-of-conference games, and there's 2 of them that have me worried for you guys. November 18th, the 8:15 game is Houston in your house.
Right. We still have Houston to get the Strouds.
That's a
And
blowout.
then you've got a December 22nd game at home against Tampa.
And something droid brought to my attention. You know who the Cowboys play next week? Atlanta.
That you're done.
Yeah, because
if the Cowboys lose that game, and is it in Texas or is it in Georgia?
I do believe.
I think it's in Georgia.
I do believe you are correct. I do believe so. Let's take a look here.
I think it's in Georgia.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
I'm looking at it right now. It's the 1 p.m. game.
So you're talking about basically another blood march because
that's
right now,
going to be sickening, and that's my first game on Sunday. Considering the fact that the 49ers are off,
Yep.
Detroit will beat up Green Bay at 4:25, and then my Colts play the Vikings.
Right.
Yeah, because that game got flexed.
That's the first flex game that wasn't it? That was the first flex game.
Yes.
And then
because it was supposed to be some BS Jacksonville game, but they flipped
Philadelphia. It was supposed to be Jacksonville, Philadelphia.
Yeah, but then they flipped it
to 4:05, and now you get
because Jacksonville's playing like absolute garbage most of the time.
Yep.
Right.
Now my thing is, and this is the huge what if.
Mm-hmm.
What if Dallas was going into the Atlanta game at 4-3 instead of 3-4?
Then they'd have some confidence.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They'd have a lot of confidence.
Here's the thing: if the Cowboys messed around and actually beat San Fran last night, you probably would have had a much more confident Cowboys team because they would have beaten the boogeyman at least once.
They would have beaten the bully.
Yep, they would have beaten the bully at least once.
They would have beaten the bully.
But now,
I'll never forget what you guys say a lot. The bully doesn't like to get bullied. You know, Chris Simpson says the same thing. The bully does not like to get bullied. And last night, the Cowboys were doing the bullying for about 20 minutes.
Yep.
Now I'm going to bring up a very interesting stat here because I'm going down the lineup of the wins and losses for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the first game against Cleveland, where Dallas dropped 33, they haven't cracked 28.
No, because you look at the teams that they went up against. We didn't expect the South to be as good as they are, and here come the New Orleans.
I mean, you guys almost beat Baltimore.
Yeah,
that should have been a W for you guys the way Baltimore was playing, but somehow they squeezed that one out. You got your asses handed to you by both New Orleans and Detroit. That was going to be figured.
Right, especially Detroit.
And this is the troll period that Victor was afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 3-week troll period that Victor was afraid of when we did our preseason special.
Exactly. But here's the thing: they should have beaten New York by more instead of 5 points.
Yep,
they dropped. That was a drop game.
But when you turn the ball over 4 times,
exactly,
and
you
then
allow a team like the Giants to stay in the ball game.
And then you should have beaten Pittsburgh by more.
Yeah,
but you only scored 20 points.
That should not have been a miraculous win.
Right.
Yeah,
for
but
Dallas.
In both of those games, you only scored 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and again, in those games, and this is what's going to end up happening with Moronic probably is they're just going to take a win as a win. They're not going to look at it as a thrashing this should have been a thrashing. Pittsburgh should have been a thrashing because you had Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that they're missing the key players in that defense.
Yeah.
That defense has nowhere near the teeth that it had.
Nope.
No,
last year.
you should have been able to blow them over the secondary, but you didn't.
I'll tell you a game I'm looking at next week for my Total Anarchy game.
Please tell me you're gonna have a graphic for that.
Oh, I will. I'll have it today. Dude, how many gallons of caffeine do you have in that damn cup? You're muted. Of course.
Yeah, numpty.
It's only 6 ounces of coffee in itself. The rest is literally just milk and ice.
I'll repeat my question. How many gallons of caffeine do you have in that damn thing?
0. It's not. It's like 24 ounces.
Yeah. Of course, with my on-screen son, you can upgrade that to a gallon already. Let's take a break. We're at halftime, man. When y'all get back, I have a list of teams whose season is already over.
Before we go to break, what was your total anarchy game next week?
Rams and Seahawks.
Oh, yep. No.
I would have figured it would have been more towards Bears Cardinals.
You know what? That's a dual anarchy. I'll explain all of that as we're going to introduce that this week. Let's go to break. When y'all get back, I have a list of teams whose season is already over. Back after the half.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson Brown stood at 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmaker's blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Second half of Snowman in the Morning is here, and this portion is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the code Snowman for $20 off of your very first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek. Click, for those of you watching on YouTube, click the link in the description below. During the break, Shane gave me a suggestion.
Oh boy.
Why are you saying, oh boy? It's your
Whenever
fault.
whenever I give a suggestion, it turns into an absolute riot. And then I wonder why I did it in the first place.
Like this.
Ah, crap.
You
Nope.
asked for this.
Nope, I ain't having none of it. I ain't having none of it.
Yes, you are.
Nuh-uh. I'm not having none of it.
Yes, you are.
This is what
You ain't
happened.
Hey, you don't have a choice, Joy. You're part of the crew now.
I know.
Man, you're about as screwed as I am on this one.
Chances you're gonna have a set of mulligan games.
Total anarchy.
Total anarchy. Don't let me find a sound for it.
Oh, hell.
Okay. Speaking of total anarchy.
Next thing you know, he's going to pair this up with Stone Cold's glass breaking.
Right. Oh, well, there you go. Good job, dog. Good job, dog.
Note the evil smile on this producer's face.
I swear, Shane, you don't do two words, which is what the Moronic Republic should do. Shut up! Shut up! For once, you should actually listen to me when I say, shut up!
Dog's doing
And
this
by
on
the way,
purpose.
and once again, I say this almost every show for Mr. Brian. I say this every show, and to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters, shut up.
You know,
And to
speaking
all
of,
you Bruins
Oh my gosh.
Red Sox fans,
Football,
shut up.
Football Talk with Bo is with us. Good morning, guys. Good morning to you. Sam is with us as well. Thank you guys for joining. RC joins us as well. Another disappointment of a game for us. Well, that's Pennywise.
yeah,
That's Pennywise.
it's
I don't know who
Pennywise.
us is, but I ain't speaking French. We. It's not a we here.
I am. No, I'm kidding. But you know,
Here's speaking of insanity.
You know it's a bad game when both parties are like, eh.
You know what? That was that was several games yesterday.
Yeah.
That was several games. And you know what? The one I want to look at.
Call from yesterday.
The one
was the Falcons Bucks game, because you know now from now on with chains in the pocket, it's an instant classic.
We'll get to that one. The one game I've already torn up Indy.
Okay, so
they're going to pull off I got the feeling they're going to pull off a miracle on Sunday night. Don't ask me how I believe this or think this.
So you put them on the hot seat already?
Yes.
All right.
Oh wait, no, you got another name to put on the hot seat.
I got one that Victor's going to put on the hot seat.
Me?
Okay. You.
Victor, he doesn't. He's got.
I will tell you the name. I will tell you the name he needs to put on the hot seat.
Okay.
And that name is John Harbaugh. The head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah, give me that.
Let me set this up.
Give me that.
Let me set this up.
Oh boy.
When we did our picks on Friday, and thank you to the lovely Deb Wickes for joining us.
Yes, indeed, that was so much fun.
That was a blast.
We all took an L.
We all took a bath.
Yeah.
In L.
3 times over.
Yeah, we did.
In of all places, Cleveland. And I'll never forget what Victor said on Friday when we did our picks. And Victor, you had Jody cracking up when you said this.
I want my tree fitty.
Yes, thank you.
I want my tree fitty.
He said, I want Derrick Henry to run for tree fitty.
Yep.
Give that tree fitty to the Loch Ness Monster.
Jody called me and said, Victor wants what? I said, I'll play it for you again. And I did.
Tree fitty.
He wants tree fitty for Derrick Henry.
And he didn't even get close.
And he didn't get close.
Nope.
Which is why we have a very specific but random musing of given the fact that the Ravens pulled off the stunner of stunners to get Derrick Henry in the offseason, and you would think that they would run over Cleveland for tree fitty for Derrick Henry alone, and it didn't happen. This will. All yours, partner. Go.
So I am going to stop doing these projections when I hear about these blockbuster trades. Especially when it comes to running backs. And here's why.
I know this is going to be fun.
Last year, when the Philadelphia Eagles made this steal of the century and got DeAndre Swift from the Lions.
Yes.
I thought nothing's going to stop the Eagles because they now have one of the best running backs out there.
Yep.
And they're going to run away with the division. It didn't happen.
Wait, don't you have a buzzer?
He has a
I
few.
do. And if I will get a moment to pull this up,
take your time. It's gonna be a slow cook, so
it's gonna be a slow cook. So
what in the world did
wait, here we go. I got a better button for Victor.
All right,
the Eagles snatched DeAndre Swift. Thought DeAndre Swift would get 1,500. Then the Eagles told us, "Shut up, fool!" I did it wrong. Then the Eagles told us, "Shut up, fool!" and relied on Jalen Hurts, who is still not all the way back.
Nope.
And then this happened to the Eagles season.
Exactly.
There, how's that?
And it was mainly because of Sirianni. For some reason, Skinny Jean Sirianni figured we don't need to run anymore. After they went on an absolute tear at the beginning of the season.
There you go.
They were on an absolute tear and then fell apart because they started to rely more on Jalen Hurts, even though DeAndre Swift was right there.
Who I still feel has regressed.
Jalen hurt their season.
Now, this season.
Shut up.
Now, this season, where the Baltimore Ravens, again, had what I consider the steal of the century. You got King Henry. Derrick Henry, the man that got, I believe it was 12,000 yards in high school. Was running up and down and abusing people when he was a Tennessee Titan.
Yep.
And the main reason why the Titans are kicking themselves in the ass.
And will forever kick themselves in the ass.
Because why on earth do you let him go? And the main reason why you do this is because you want to take pressure off of Lamar Jackson. Fairly simple thing. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And then you roll into Cleveland.
There's just something about the way Victor says that.
And then you run into Cleveland.
And it's a trend that I started in seeing it that way.
And I'm gonna bring up this stat right here and tell me how sickening this is.
Oh dear.
Do you know how many touches Derrick Henry had all game?
No.
I think it was I think it was 11.
11.
That's
11 for 73, and he had a touchdown late.
How many times did Lamar tuck it himself? Just hit
it. 8 times for 46 yards. Lamar Jackson, 8 carries. Not to mention that through most of the second quarter, Derrick Henry didn't see a lick. It got so bad, I literally checked and scoured Google to see if there was some sort of injury to Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm. We all did. We all did.
I'll tell you what you found. You found nothing.
Thank you.
This is a mess. And Bold Jordan and I have said that if Baltimore loses to Cleveland, you throw the season away.
Yeah.
This way. You made, as a team, you made Jameis Crab Legs Winston look like he was back in Tampa Bay throwing touchdowns.
334 yards for Jameis Winston.
How many?
334.
334?
In 3 touchdowns.
Catches.
Jameis Crab Legs Winston. I love that.
Oh, yeah, and he had 2 rushing yards.
Yep.
2!
Crab legs.
So watching 3 and out. I made a solemn vow. I will probably never cover another Baltimore Ravens game.
Because you wanted this one.
You won't have to, because next week the Cowboys play the Falcons and Kirk Two-Chain's cousins.
This was so embarrassing, not just because I'm not the biggest Ravens fan. I'm going to let y'all know that now.
Yeah.
But I am a huge Derrick Henry fan.
Same.
And we talk about gross misuses. We, of course, talked about DeAndre Swift with Philly and possibly
Big
with
Zeke.
Chicago.
Zeke.
Zeke. But now we got to say about Derrick Henry, because what are the Ravens doing?
Not a
3 separate times, especially within the second or third quarters, 3 separate times. I don't think they even had 2 minutes of possession time because they went 3 and out.
Nope.
Because
They did not.
3 consecutive passes that were incomplete by Lamar Jackson.
Sounds like Prescott last night in the drive of the game.
And I hate to say it, but we all got to cover a Ravens game December 1st.
Well, now that's called us in the question, because when we talked about how great December 1st was going to be, we thought about how amazing it would be to see Derrick Henry in a Ravens uniform, and then we find out that we're going against Saquon Barkley, who is now our Eagle. So we're thinking this is going to be, easy
Ground and
200,
pound.
250 yards, per running back.
And we'll be done with that game in about 2 hours?
Exactly.
Roughly.
But now look at what we're seeing, particularly from the Ravens. Now, the Eagles, they did their thing. They let Saquon Barkley loose.
Mm-hmm. They turned him loose.
But here you have...
Because they realized Jalen Hurts is... meh.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen accounted for all 4 of the touchdowns that Philly had, but Saquon went off for 22 carries, $108.
And I question, who do I blame for this? Is this Harbaugh, or is this Lamar Jackson not one to share the spotlight?
Well, also, you got to remember, it's not just Harbaugh making the calls; it's Monken too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The offensive coordinator.
And let me quote something that Monken said. He said, "I am determined to make Jackson a 5-step drop pocket passer."
Good luck with that.
You know what you do in that situation? You know what you do in that situation? You start establishing the run.
Mm-hmm.
You let
that's the idea of the West Coast offense.
You let Derrick Henry do his thing. Make those guys put extra run blitzers in to stop the run. And then you set the play action where you can give Lamar Jackson those 5 steps.
Yeah, you set it up to have 7 in the box for defense and then blow it over the top of them.
Because
if you did that in 1 quarter last night.
Because after watching the game, Lamar Jackson barely had enough time for 2.5 steps instead of 5.
Mm-hmm. You know who did that expertly in the 3rd quarter last night?
Brock.
Yep.
It's becoming embarrassing in Baltimore when games that you should be blowing the doors off teams, you are barely getting by. And then in this one where you get embarrassed with a capital EMB by
they should have blown the doors off
Browns
because they were busy blowing the doors off of Dallas before they let Prescott back in the ball game.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna just say this: you probably could have had Deshaun Watson in, the game would have been the same.
No.
You probably would have had because
difference.
Because here's the thing: there was so much of a difference in time of possession between the Browns and the Ravens that you probably could have given Deshaun Watson multiple more opportunities. He probably still would have lucked his way into a couple touchdowns.
I agree with that.
There was no control of the ball at all.
None.
And this is supposed to be the front runner for the AFC. It's not looking like it.
How while Kansas City's around.
It's not looking like it.
I mean, come on here. They lost to Oakland of all teams early this season. That should have been a blowout.
With the way they look, they would get beat up by the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point.
Oh God.
Oh, the land of AEW?
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks would have V-triggered Lamar's ass.
This seems like for some reason you went out of your way to get Derrick Henry and you're too scared to use him.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Half the NFL is too scared to use their running backs.
that because the Ravens took an L, the Steelers now lead the AFC
Oh dear God.
The AFC Norris division is led by Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
by
And
Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And think about this. Think what's going to happen when Pittsburgh faces against Baltimore. If things don't change,
I already got my answer for that
if things
matchup.
do not change, you're going to see Mr. Unlimited.
What's going to happen? Victor says when Pittsburgh faces Baltimore. Here's my answer.
Damn it!
I told you,
Shane, you asked for this.
Oh, damn it.
So I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the Baltimore Ravens, you got humbled.
Humble.
Yesterday. You got humbled.
Humbled. Sheiky baby. Love you.
You let Jameis Crab-Legs Winston dog walk y'all throughout the entire game. Jameis went anywhere with deed in hand, the ink being dry. He now owns Baltimore.
Hold on. Because yes, Lamar, it is you.
Yeah.
It will always be you. It will
It'll
always be you. Forever and ever.
And
the church says, Amen.
Amen.
And now Cole's got something else to come up with.
So I don't know what.
No, I see that look on your face, Brian. No, and the no.
Too late. Too late. But like I said, I'm gonna stop coming with these projections because this has gotten ridiculous. The second time that we've had a top tier running back, and y'all making Derrick Henry have buyer's remorse. I think he wants to be back in Tennessee.
I think he wants to be back in Alabama.
He probably was back. Yeah, probably. Because he had, keyword, had a offense and a coach that believed in him.
Had being the operative word.
And yet, now you have, to me, what seems to be a team of prima donnas.
Uh-huh.
Because this seemed like, I don't know if there's some beef between Lamar and Derek or something, because the fact that you have Lamar Jackson, you have an opportunity to run side by side with one of the best running backs in the league and take pressure off you so you don't get your ASS beat every single time.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
You don't get blitzed half the time. You don't get sacked half the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you are still trying to make things happen with your legs. I don't know if this is just a reflex thing or a train thing. Somebody has to take responsibility for this.
And to think that Baltimore still got their 2 meetings with Pittsburgh. They've got a meeting with Houston, another meeting with Cleveland, and next week they've got Denver.
Mo picks.
And
yuck.
And if you're not careful, you may see Bo Nix or Mo Picks looking like
Mo Picks is going to make them Bo leave.
Yeah.
If he hasn't already.
I just want to say that they got so sick of Bo Nix in the middle of the game. Cortland Sutton threw a pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
A wide receiver threw a 28-yard dot.
And if you get beat by Pittsburgh twice, I should petition for the AFC North to secede you from the conference.
I agree.
Do not send them to the AFC East. We're bad enough. Y'all can have them in the NFC East. We're good here.
Yeah, probably the only team the Cowboys can be at this point.
This segment is brought to you by Southside Slapbox Academy. Let the scrapping be slapping. And Camel Clutch Wrestling Academy. Either we make you champions, Victor, finish it.
Or we make you humble. I'm done.
Love you, Shiki.
I'm done at this point. Harbaugh, you have embarrassed yourself. It's going to take you a bit to get back. Lamar Jackson, humble yourself and let Derrick Henry cook, because you ain't him.
You ain't no Carmelo Hayes.
You are looking like exactly how Snowman said, overrated and overpaid.
Called it 2 years ago. And oh, by the way, if you think Lamar Jackson is him,
Stop it. Get some help.
Please.
A break and more football stuff. Introduce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
What happened?
Where's
kinda-
the dog?
He's hiding. I kind of did something.
What did you do?
And Victor, this is your fault.
Mine?
Yeah.
What'd I do?
Yours. Android, you have a part in this too.
Whoa, what? What did I do?
This.
Oh.
Oh, son of a bitch. I come back to this.
Hold on. Say it all with me now.
Hold on a minute. Hold
Oh
on a minute.
my
Hold on a
God.
minute. Hold on a minute.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
Because yes, Lamar, it is
you.
It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen.
This is what happens when, sadly, my mind actually turns into overdrive. And then Brian is like, this mother actually has a decent idea. I'm going to work with this. And then next thing you know, we have both of these today.
You need to do the being a dead horse, but it's like Lamar, and then you put like Purdy and Mahomes.
Oh,
I like it. And now there it is.
Y'all gonna make Brian a busy man. Y'all making Brian a busy
I'll
man.
have that one by Wednesday.
All right.
Dead horse presentation.
I already got the sound.
But I'm sorry to
I
say
just
that-
have to put the video. I just have to put the video
Sorry
to it.
you, Brian.
I gotta do it again.
Sorry to say this.
When
Brian.
Cole was the inspiration for this,
Because, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It will continuously be you until the end of time, forever and ever. And the church all rose and said,
Amen.
Now get out of my face. No, wait, that's Wednesday.
And then on top of that, they started saying it for Lamar Jackson. So during the break, I got a little creative, and this showed up.
Because, yes, Lamar, it is you. It has always been you. You overrated.
Ooh.
Forever and ever it will be you. And the church all rose and said,
Amen.
And this has been another one paid for by the city.
I'm sorry to do this to you, Brian. I'm gonna need a heartbeat.
Oh,
You've got to be joking.
Doggone it. Where'd it go?
Before
Where'd it go?
we do that, I gotta say, Jordan and I had another tremendous little broadcast yesterday.
Yes, you did.
With the Chiefs and the Raiders going at it, and the Bears and the Redskins going at it.
Going at it.
Imagine if I had kept that stream on and he called the Hail Mary. I should have done it. I
You
should have
should
done
have.
it.
By the way, I'll tell you right now, one of the biggest reasons Washington won, Dale Jr. was in the house.
You know the biggest reason Washington won? Jaden Daniels is in the house.
That too.
And I'll put it like this.
So
I don't think anyone can criticize or
Is him. I'm sorry.
yes, he
I
is.
don't care what people say. Oh, it's too early to say so. He is him. He is like Brock Purdy. He is him.
Droid. Who said that first?
You.
That would be this guy.
That man's a beast, and he will go down.
Who said it first?
That man
about
is now
Jaden
that man is now a celebrity in Washington.
Yeah, he is.
That's all I gotta say. Who said it? Who said it first?
Oh, here's another thing, right? So At no point throughout the entire half, no one scored a touchdown. In fact, the Bears didn't score a point pretty much
in the
almost
entire
all.
first half.
Yep. And then what they do? They messed around and let DeAndre Swift loose.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think, gee, if you did half that in the first half, how many points would have been scored?
30 at least.
And just like Harbaugh, we also have to thank Matt Eberfools.
Hold on a minute. I have something special for y'all.
Oh no.
Well, Droid made a mistake and didn't let the stream keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Shame on you for that.
Shut it. It was like I needed to make a decision. It was either I let Victor keep
I
going.
know. You had to.
Keeping the
You
streak
had
going
to call.
through
You had to call it, and you were just about done anyway. I heard it in your voice.
Man was about as wore out as we were when we did Daytona this year.
Well, once that goal,
Oh, I get it with Daytona.
happened,
I followed you guys with Daytona. Okay,
Oh, the Daytona 500, the back-to-back that we call the 7 hours of
the 800-mile marathon.
listen. I've had marathon broadcasts like that. It's called Super Bowl 58.
Well, here's the thing.
We about to have two more of those.
I think it was Atlanta. We tried doing the same, but then you were like, "Droid, yeah, no, we're just doing the cup race. Why? You know what happened last time."
There was a back-to-back that I nixed because I was like, oh hell no. We were jumped after that.
Oh gosh.
Well,
dude, I was on
time
I
now
still
for
had to come back on here.
Mm-hmm.
Time now for our cricket call of the day, brought to you by Cricket Wireless, the official wireless carrier of Snowman Multimedia. We go to Washington.
Bears at 8 deep. 4 of them at the goal line. They bring 3. Daniels backing up. He's just going to have to let one fly. Goes to the right side. Steps away from the defenders. Gives himself some time. Now steps up, fires. Heads towards the end zone. It is
It sounds less like a broadcast booth and more like a watch party.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it does.
And for the Bears,
again, the Bears mortgage their entire future.
wait. Gotta do it. We gotta do it right. We gotta do it right, because I said this 2 years ago when they made the deal.
Before long, we're gonna have a graphic for this.
Shane,
can you? You know what? Mute your mic.
You're welcome,
mute
Brian.
Audio.
I said this 2 years ago when the Bears made the deal, and it's coming back to get them.
Because
you have mortgaged
and
now have risked your entire future for DJ Moore.
I'll put I'll put it like this.
I'll say it again. You have now mortgaged and have now risked your entire damn future
for
DJ Moore.
I will say this. I can't get mad at Caleb because he played as best he could against what I think now is a very stellar secondary.
Yes.
Washington is a stellar secondary.
Yes, they are.
DeAndre Swift was DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, DJ Moore, well, I will say this. DJ Moore took one heck of a catch and one hell of a shot.
But
he got
he
played well.
got obliterated.
He got obliterated. He had one nice catch that put him at the goal, that put him near the goal line, and got pummeled for it.
Yep.
But
sure
before
did.
that and after that, DJ played Waldo.
Where's Waldo?
Where's DJ?
Where was DJ at? This was the game that DJ. This was the game that last year DJ had a doggone near career game.
Yep.
Last year he and Justin Fields almost pretty much obliterated Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he now? I saw Rome when I saw DJ.
Nowhere to be found. I'll answer that.
I saw Rome more than I saw DJ.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to be found.
But you couldn't have played that game any better if you're Caleb Williams, honestly. No, he made no mistakes. He made a couple plays with his feet, as he normally does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Hail Jaden right now. It's Hail
Mary to the Redskins.
And this is going to show that
that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
And I will say this also. This is going to show you why you still pay attention, even though the Hail Mary gets tipped. Because that was a heads-up play by Noah Brown to stay with it and just keep
and Noah Brown did the correct thing.
Mm-hmm.
He ran into the end zone.
Yep.
He ran into the end zone.
This is how I saw Washington line it up. They kind of had like a dummy receiver. They had their dummy receiver to, be in the scrum. They had their actual target, and then they had a receiver in the back just in case anything was deflected.
Just in case it hit. Yep.
That is like Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary right up.
Yep.
Like we hate on Aaron Rodgers a lot around here.
But that was a perfect setup.
That was.
But Aaron Rodgers is known for hitting Hail Marys pretty casually.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly like how Aaron Rodgers would have drawn it up, and I am impressed.
I am too.
So am I. So am I.
I'll just say that the Bears fan, the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy, now y'all can sit down and shut up too.
You need to shut up.
Because I've been hearing y'all.
They need to shut up.
I've been hearing that chip, and chap, as Ray Ray would say. I've been hearing the chip, and chap about.
I'm sick of the chip, and the chap.
About how the Bears gonna do it. The Bears are good now. We told
Oh
y'all.
God.
The Bears are gonna make it.
God.
What'd I say? This was the Bears' true test
This
game.
was you said it. You said it all week. You said it all last week. This was the prove it game.
And guess what?
They didn't prove a thing.
They failed.
Badly.
Oh, that was a great end of the game. That will go down as probably one of the best endings to a game.
I've seen Hail Marys before, and I'm so happy they won that.
So, yeah.
Why, you ask?
Because you didn't want to hear Bears fans.
Exactamundo.
Oh, we beat the Commanders. Let's go.
Bear down.
Oh my!
You didn't want to hear bear down.
No, I got the instrumental of Bear Down, and that's all I need.
Before we play the heartbeat, because I have a confession. I had one of my Commanders friends call me, and I was like, "Hey, buddy."
You stupid.
And his voice, I could barely understand what he was saying because his voice was gone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I wonder why.
Every time I'm like, "Sir, can you repeat that?" What?
What?
The Commanders.
What?
The Commanders just won. Huh? The Commanders just won. Weren't they losing? Hail Mary. Look on Twitter. I opened Twitter. Sure enough. Jaden Daniels lobs it. Tipped. Caught.
And Droid was going nuts on sending me text messages and clips and all that stuff. But before we close this out, You Chicago Bears and the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy, which includes the front office, you have now mortgaged, risked, and doubled down your entire future for D.
More. I hate you. I love you, but I hate you.
You know what I wish. I
we got 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, I would.
Why do you hate me?
Because the fact you're just doing this on the fly.
I wish we were able to talk to Mr. Spivey, because he was like, I told you.
Yes, he did.
I told you.
Yes, he did.
All you need to add to that is just the tweet from Chicago about them trading for DJ Moore.
Yes, I'll find it.
How they finessed, how they fleeced.
How they finessed.
Carolina. Oh, we fleeced Carolina. We finessed Carolina.
I'm sorry to say
Hey,
this.
dog, you missed it.
Missed what?
Say it, boys.
The Bears not only mortgaged their entire future, risk their entire future, but now double down their entire future for DJ Moore. Now
I
play
quit.
the harp. Now play the harp.
Shane.
Now, Brian.
Yes.
Just a moment. I'm still getting over Shane's reaction.
Next thing we know, there'll be a graphic from me saying I quit.
Shut up!
That's gonna be for like every page. That's gonna be like a picture of the dog next to like the Patriots logo and say, I quit.
And the Patriots logo will be upside down.
Right?
Shane and then Mayo.
It'll be a picture of Shane, the Patriots logo upside down, and Coach Mayo in the picture, and you just see an exasperated Shane just going, I quit.
I quit.
If it does not have a speech bubble, I quit.
Right. Okay, we gotta hurry up and give.
You got something to do.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Oh, crap.
Go.
All yours, Droid.
So, for those who don't know, I work at a place called Culver's.
Oh, dear Lord, Culver's.
I've been at Culver's for about a week now.
Mm-hmm.
I've already met a bronze-sexual coworker.
Oh, dear.
One of my good coworkers, Blake, asked me the question. I think it was my second day of working at Culver's. He asked me, Jordan or James? And I said, Jordan. He said, oh, good. Because this guy's saying LeBron. I'm like, well, why do you think LeBron is better? He's like, he's just better. And I'm like, what specifically at? He's like, scoring. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it better. Next. Well, assists.
John Stockton and Magic
John
Johnson.
Stockton.
John Stockton and Magic
rebounds.
Johnson.
Brother,
Gary Payton.
Moses Malone, Moses Malone, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Abdul-Jabbar mentioned before, Robert Parrish. Next.
I'm talking rebounds. And we both know an insane rebound from the Bulls.
Dennis Robinson.
Oh, Dennis Rodman. Duh.
Dennis
Rodman.
Dennis the Worm Rodman.
David Robinson.
Well, and I said, all right, I'm going to stop you there. Does LeBron have a Defensive Player of the Year?
No.
Does LeBron have a triple crown of MVPs?
No.
He's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, the triple crown is basically you get the season, the All-Star, and the Finals MVP in the same year.
No.
He has zero, none. And he
None.
kept saying, you all are bringing up stats. And I'm like,
Well,
that's the point.
Stats
You're
back
bringing
up
up
the
stats
argument.
too. You're bringing up the 40,000 points he scored in a 20-plus year career.
Let's put it this way. If Michael had a 20-plus year career, I guarantee you LeBron wouldn't even be talked about right now.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
And Michael would have 60,000 points. Not to mention a
Did
few more
LeBron
titles.
come out of retirement twice and still go undefeated in the finals?
No.
No. Then shut it. I don't want to hear it. and the thing is, every time I kept saying Jordan was better, he was about to crash out. He was genuinely tweaking.
He was about to cry. You. This is what happens when you bring up stats, facts, and figures to a bronsexual. They start to cry.
He was over here with the twitching eye, like.
But you can't say that. That's hating. You hating.
Yeah, he called me a hater. I'm like, I'm not a hater. I'm a believer that Jordan is better than LeBron by a mile.
Let me add something to that.
Oh no.
Yesterday, I was making a delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And while on that said delivery, this happened.
No.
I had a conversation with a bronsexual.
What you mean?
Thank you, Vector. Same question. How, in fact, the question was phrased this way. How can you pick a loser like Jordan? Wait, I didn't do this right. Give me this button. Quote. How can you pick a loser like Jordan over LeBron? Close quote.
Jordan
Before my answer, first this.
This moment of bronsexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronsexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPN. Now approve all this.
Hateful about a city.
By the way, I did a little bit of quick math. If Jordan scored on average his 30 points in his career in the 4 seasons he didn't play, tacked on to what he had, he would have had 42,132 points.
Mm-hmm.
And would we be talking about LeBron right now as the greatest scorer, as the scoring leader?
No, and the GOAT conversation wouldn't even be arguable.
Not even close. It shouldn't be arguable now.
But unfortunately, it is. Okay, let me do this. I said I could mention the 6 finals MVPs. I could mention the 5 regular season MVPs. I could mention the fact that MJ is undefeated in said finals. But I'll mention 2 things. And he says, what? I dare you. I dare you. Okay. Number 1, how many times did LeBron score 60 in a game?
The answer is 0.
And the answer is 1. That came in 2014 against the Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, well, it's the Charlotte Bobcats, so it doesn't count.
Exactly.
That's like
Secondly,
high school varsity.
Bonus question. How many times has LeBron scored 60 ... in a playoff game? The answer is none.
I'm going to say 0.
Mike did it once. Mike did it once. And you can't say otherwise.
Okay.
63 to be exact.
So I'll ask this question. How does he define a loser? Because he called Michael Jordan, one of the winningest players in the NBA, a loser. So what does he define as a loser?
That I can't talk about on the air because it involves a few different cuss words.
I'm going to put a dagger in this conversation for all the LeBron haters, and I'm going to do it the way I know how.
Okay.
Jordan has a career playoff scoring average of 33.4 points per game, the highest in NBA history, while Yao Kang averages 28 points per game.
Why? And this is how this whole comedy thing started. Because, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Now get the hell out of our faces, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window.
Timeout.
False start.
Flag of play. False start.
Offense.
Dear Bronsexuals.
Bobby Arpelloni. Replay first down.
Dear Bronsexuals. You.
Dead ball foul.
Bronsexuals on top of Bronsexuals.
Shut up.
You.
This is a dead ball foul.
Dear social media for shoving LeBron in our faces and up our asses for 20 years. You, and a whole lot of you.
Dead ball foul. Roughing the flopper.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Have a great day. What?
I was going to say, next on the why am I suggesting this graphic department, a roughing the flopper graphic. You're welcome.
Referees. Doing roughing the passer.
Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. And as I said before, dear Bronsexuals, and to the moronic Republic of Cowboy Nation, you. Goodbye.
Everyone's catching strays.